So guys, I was outside there messing around with another project. We'll get on to that at a later date. And I left Chris on time lapse to start part 2 of this video. And then I realised that I hadn't actually even done an introduction. So here it is, and we're going to flick straight over to time lapse. It's very, very quick, and it's Chris stripping the top half of the engine. So as you would have seen there on the time lapse, guys, Chris really has cracked on, and it seems like he done it in 2 minutes, literally, and it wasn't. He's taken all the camshaft out, the rocker box cover off, he's got everything out of the way, and you're now moving on to the head bolts, yep, mate, right?
Yep.
So he's just got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 head bolts in there, a few other little bits and pieces, and hopefully we can get on and start the process of pulling this head off. I am quite looking forward to... well, they're tight. Yeah. I am looking forward to having a look at that piston and that com rod. And I know quite a lot of people that watch the channel, they always comment saying we're not mechanically minded and find this really, really interesting. So it's really nice to actually show you the inside parts of your own vehicle, because essentially they are all very, very similar inside. So I'll let Chris get them undone. We've got a few more bolts and bits and pieces here to do, and we'll get that head off and update. Being a bit of a T-boy today, guys. I mean, it's such a tiny little engine that you just can't get 2 people around it. It'd be completely pointless. So I've just been sitting here chatting to Chris, keeping him company while he's stripping it, actually. And of course, going off and getting the breakfast. We are ready to lift the head off. So I thought I'd cut in now. Yeah, just making sure we wasn't up there. Yeah, one of these bolts is holding. Good.
All looking clear, isn't it?
It is my side.
Ready?
Yeah, something's cool. Let's just rest it there for a minute. Back there. It's a bit of wiring or something.
I think the wiring's all still with it.
Yeah, no, we've got one water pipe there, mate. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have that there. You just whip that off quickly.
Where's that one?
One little click on that tiny little water pipe.
Oh, that's going with it. That's a vacuum pipe. Oh, this one over
Yeah.
here, sorry.
Can you guys? You can check and double check, and sometimes this does happen. It's a tiny little pipe under there. Sounded like it's off. Where are we going? On the floor down there? Well done, mate. Ready? Oh yes, that's definitely definitely the problem there. It's a lot lower. Let's come over and have a closer look. Went and pulled it out the tripod there and cut it off, but as you can see now, the head's sitting on the floor, and I quite like the way Chris has undone that and left everything on it, and it's basically become a bare block, all but the alternator. But you can clearly see that one's almost at the top, those two are identical, and that one's quite far down. Obviously we know the reason, but I just wanted to show you what it was like from the other angle. So we are going to go from, we're actually going to spin it upside down, aren't we? And we'll do that now, Chris, actually.
Right. Might be a little bit in there. Yeah.
A little bit of water in there.
Just a little bit.
A little bit more, mate. Sorry, guys, that's not all the way in there, right through, so that's it. We'll whip this sump back off. We'll quickly do that. Might as well stay online, won't we? Yeah. And we'll push that piston and that com rod out. You love my ratchet, don't you?
Good little tool, isn't it?
Guys, I've mentioned it in previous videos. That Sealy ratchet, honestly, I couldn't be without it. I will chuck a link for that in the description. I did it before and people do still keep asking, so I'll chuck that in there. Right, you ready, mate? I'll do the pushing.
Yeah, you don't need a tappy.
Oh yes, it is, yeah. I have to turn that round a little bit.
Turn now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to have to come back now. Right.
Fingers?
Yeah, cool. Won't need too hard. Hold it. Yeah, we got it, mate. And there she is.
Oh yeah, she's bent. Look at that, guys. And this is actually crushed together.
Yeah, it's pinched it, hasn't it?
Pinched it up, so that wouldn't even fit back on there anyway.
We've got the cap, haven't we?
Yeah, we have got the cap. Oh yes. I think we found, Chris, safe to say,
yes,
our problem.
Yes. It's not the end of the world, is it?
No. The rest of it actually looks in fantastic condition, doesn't it?
It's not bad, is it? 87,000 miles.
Is that what it's done?
Yeah.
87,000.
Like bores are good.
Guys, we'll lay a few of these bits out on the bench and I will come straight back and give you an update. Sump back on, just literally with 2 bolts. We're going to spin the engine all the way back round and inspect the bore before we go any further with it, because obviously if there is any damage in there, then it would be completely pointless trying to fix this engine. So Chris is just getting a torch and he's going to do a bit of an inspection and put his glasses on, but I'm having a little feel round in there and it does actually feel okay.
No carbon, is it?
No. It's all actually quite nice. I can't work out how that's come undone. Again, guys, that's something that me and Chris have never ever seen before. A cap coming undone on one of the con rods.
I bet it made a racket.
Yeah.
When it was coming undone.
Well, you wouldn't have heard it, would you?
No, but I bet it was rattling well, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the other thing that we was a little bit worried about was, you know, Chris said it was on tick over, so we don't think that it would have affected the head. And it, you know, we've looked at it and it doesn't look like it has. So, how are we looking, mate?
Well, if I clean it up a bit more,
Shine the torch in there.
yeah, you might be able to see it.
Get that camera right over the top.
Can't really see.
Bring that torch down a bit.
See?
Bring that torch down as low as you can. That's lovely. That's actually fine in there, isn't it?
It's not bad,
Let's
is it?
keep following me with that torch around that way, Chris. Guys, I don't pretend I'm a professional with this camera, but I'm doing my best for you. Yeah, that looks absolutely fine, that does. So, we're probably going to spin that back over and have off one of the...
Well, we'll just have a look around the bottom, make sure there's no damage. But it's just on that crank, isn't it? It's the only bit of damage, yeah.
We'll spin...
We'll check a main.
Yeah?
So we'll just
Yeah.
take the main off
We've got the bolt out, mate. Let's spin it over. We might as well.
before we go any further.
I'll tell you what, I'll put the phone down. We'll cut back in. Guys, we get that back over, get the sump off, and let's have a look at one of the main ends. I'm going to take off this middle main bearing cap, just really to check it.
You got it?
Yeah, I've got it, mate. Because Chris don't know what actually happens, obviously the com rod's broke, but we want to check that it hasn't run hot or caused any other damage. He is quite happy to get a bit of wet and dry, smooth that crank off, new com rod, new end, new shells, and just roll with it because...
Right, here we go. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No.
Is the bearing in there?
Yeah, inside that cap that actually broke off should look like this inside, basically, guys. So that one I showed you earlier, it should look like that, and i.e. the same as inside that com rod. So where that's all chewed up in there, basically when we unbolted it, this should have looked pretty much the same as that, and as you can see close up, it doesn't. We're actually going to move on and knock that out of there in a minute anyway, aren't we? Even though it's ruined, we'll knock it out anyway, just to show.
Yeah, we put
is that all right?
Put it in the vise.
We're going to chuck that in the vise because it's pointless because it's rubbish. It's complete garbage. It's ready for the bin.
We are going to use the.
We're going to use the piston.
It's matched to that bore, isn't it?
Yeah, but I just really want to show as much as I can for those of you that are really interested in it. That's well in there, isn't it?
She's been hot, ain't she?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be showing that. Just breaking up.
Yeah.
As you can see there, guys, that is just breaking up. That is absolutely ready for the scrap bin. That is the other half of it there, though, that we found in there. So basically, this piece in here that's all melted is that, and that is one of your shells. Chris has just got a piece of wet and dry there. Do you want me to hold that for you, mate? Or is that all right? That's all right. And he's going to clean up that edge that was damaged with that bit of wet and dry. Guys, obviously, as you know, it is an engine, and this is basically, essentially, it's a part of a rebuild. So because we've now removed the head, we've removed the cam belt, it would be foolish not to put a new cam belt kit on it. Obviously, it's going to need a new head gasket set and new sump gasket, etc. So Chris is quite confident. He said he's going to run this into the ground for, you know, forever now. So he's quite comfortable. He's going to get on the internet tonight, find a con rod for it, new set of shells, and he's basically going to rebuild it with a new head gasket kit and new cam belt kit, etc. So I mean, it is quite in-depth work, but very, very straightforward little engine to work on. And I can see from here, I mean, you're not going to see it on camera, but he has only given that a few strokes already, and I can see the difference. So there you go. Very, very happy with how this came out. I really enjoyed making these last couple of videos on this little engine. And as usual, hopefully you're enjoying it too. So please let us know, as usual, in the comments section, whether you enjoy the engine rebuilds, and possibly we will do more in the future. It basically comes down to you guys. So if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds. Check out the merchandise, the link is in the description. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you very soon in the next one.